Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Spurs Up Show, best Gamecocks podcast on the internet. Today is Tuesday, March the 16th, 2021. Today's show, I break down tonight's game. Gamecocks baseball looking to bounce back from a tough weekend in Austin, Texas, as they take on the Davidson Wildcats in the midweek at Founders Park. I'll break down Davidson first. We'll talk their pitching, their hitting, players to watch for. Also, of course, we're talking South Carolina, what to watch for in the midweek. Key player for tonight. I'll give my prediction, much more from there as well, guys. We've got a packed show here on a Tuesday, and it's all brought to you by our friends over at Upstate Movers Group. Guys, Upstate Movers Group, superior moving service. They bring care and attention other companies can't offer because they're just too busy maintaining trucks and profiting off of them instead of focusing on service. Guys, service is what separates Upstate Movers Group from the competition. They're not a trucking company. They are a moving services company, and they're also employee-owned co-op. Their movers are paid twice the industry average, and everyone on the crew is invested in your success. They have dedicated professional crew members, and they also offer black glove service. They offer end-to-end packing services, custom crating and packaging for special items, and cleaning services as well. They're founded by Greenville natives and University of South Carolina alumni, guys, so a Gamecock-owned small business. They also offer 20 years of project management moving experience, and they can offer logistics and solutions that traditional moving companies simply do not have the skills for. Guys, whether you're in the upstate or across the state of South Carolina, if you have any moving needs in 2021, be sure to check out our friends over at Upstate Movers Group. You can find them on social media at Upstate Movers Group. Or, of course, if you have any other questions, go to their website, upstatemoversgroup.com. That's upstatemoversgroup.com. Be sure to check them out and tell them Chris from the Spurs Up Show sent you, guys. The show is also brought to you by our friends over at MyBookie. Yes, MyBookie is back, guys, because March is here and the madness has officially begun. Guys, it's time for you to shoot your shot and score big on the nonstop action with MyBookie, guys. You can select the winners from 63 tournament games in the MyBookie bracket contest for a chance at $10,000 in cash prizes. And guys, it's only $1 to enter. Guys, it doesn't matter whether you're filling out multiple brackets, betting the national championship winner, or simply looking for player and game props, MyBookie has you covered. Guys, you can sign up today at mybookie.ag and use the promo code Gamecocks. That's promo code Gamecocks to secure a deposit bonus up to $1,000. And guys, make sure to use my promo code so they know I hooked you up. That's promo code Gamecocks. It's very simple. Promo code Gamecocks to claim your first deposit bonus. Guys, college ball, NBA, NHL, no matter the sport, no matter the minute, MyBookie puts the action in your hands with in-game live betting. And guys, with choice from thousands of lines and odds, you can turn any game day into payday. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Let's get it. Guys, I'm Chris Phillips here at the Spurs Up Show. As always, appreciate you guys tuning in. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're all doing well, whether you're in the office, you're on the commute, you've got the day off, whatever it is. Guys, appreciate you all tuning in. And first things first, before we get going, because, of course, it is game day for Gamecocks baseball as they take on Davidson tonight. Before we get going, though, I want to make it very clear. I want to go ahead and put it out there before I get any questions. No, I do not know the status on Frank Martin. No, I do not know if he's going to be back as head coach or if he's going to get fired. I have no idea, guys. I've been getting a lot of DMs, a lot of texts, a lot of messages. Chris, what's the status? What's the deal? What's going on, guys? I am waiting patiently just like you all are as well. So again, I don't have any new intel, new information right now. I have no idea. But I'm sure we're going to be hearing something in the next day or two. I have to imagine the next 24 to max 48 hours, we'd be hearing something one way or the other. But again, I wanted to go ahead and get that out there because I'm sure a lot of you are tuning in just wondering what in the world is going on. But again, with that being said, let's talk South Carolina baseball as the Gamecocks return to the diamond after a really tough weekend, looking to bounce back, looking to get back in the win column against the Davidson Wildcats. Guys, first pitch tonight, 7 o'clock at Founders Park. If you're looking to watch it, SEC Network Plus. You can stream the game on SEC Network Plus. Yours truly will be there in person. I will be in Founders Park, and man, it'll feel good to get back to the friendly confines. But SEC Network Plus is how you can watch that game tonight, guys. Davidson of the A10, and that may sound familiar because the Gamecocks opening weekend opponent Dayton also of the A10 as well. So those two teams will play each other this season. But again, Davidson of the A10, their head coach, Rucker Taylor. So far this season, Davidson is 5-8 on the year. And here's something interesting, guys. Davidson actually just had a weekend series with the team South Carolina beat in the midweek last week, and that is the Citadel. They got swept by the Citadel pretty convincingly in all 3 games. So a rough weekend for Davidson. It's been a rough season for Davidson so far, and the numbers definitely reflect that, guys. Let's go ahead and dive into their pitching and hitting, and first talk pitching. A 7.22 team ERA. That, my friends, is not going to get the job done. Again, I'm not 110% sure because as of now, as I'm recording this, Davidson has not announced who they will start for the game. So will it be Jacob Peden? Will it be Alex Fenton? Will it be Gabe Levy? Will it be Ryan Fexco? Will it be Blake Healy? I don't know. Those are all guys that have started games for Davidson. It looks like the Blake Healy kid is probably their ace, a 3.86 ERA. He started 4 games for them, so I doubt it's him, but it'll be interesting to see. But overall, 7.22 ERA for this Davidson staff. It's been a rough year. It's been a rough year, no question. I think something really interesting, a stat that stood out to me, though, a couple stats. They've given up 109 runs. Only 89 of those runs were earned. They've also walked 57 guys, but have struck out 123 batters. So doing a pretty good job in regards to the strikeout to walk ratio. But for whatever reason, 111 innings pitched by their staff, 133 hits, and 109 runs surrendered. Again, a 7.22 ERA. So you'd think the Gamecocks bats should be able to have some success tonight. When you take a look at the hitting side of things, not much better, honestly, guys. Hitting 224 as a team. They do have 17 home runs in 13 games. Not bad. But hitting just 224 as a team. When you take a look at the players to watch for Davidson, you got to start with outfielder Trevor Candelaria, 317 team average. He leads the team in that category. 3 home runs, 8 RBIs for him this season. A really, really good player at the top of that Davidson lineup. Also, catcher John Hosmer hitting 189, really low average, but 4 home runs. He leads the team, and he also has 13 RBIs. He leads the team in both those categories, but is just hitting 189 on the season. And infielder Alex Fedhe Johnson, I may be mispronouncing that. If I am, I apologize, but Alex Fedhe Johnson hitting 308, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, another talented player at the top of that lineup. But when you take a look at Davidson and their hitting statistics, I mean, again, hitting 224 as a team, and Candelaria and Fedhe Johnson, that's the only 2 guys hitting over 300 for them. So it's been a struggle in every facet of the game. Hitting, pitching, even defense, them fielding 966 on the year. Let's talk about South Carolina, though, guys, because this game, you know, we can spend time breaking down Davidson and talking about their key players and their statistics. This game comes down to South Carolina. You're starting right-handed pitcher Will Sanders on the bump for you, which I feel really, really good about. He started against Winthrop in the midweek a couple weeks ago, and we've all seen what Will has done, right? But when you talk about what to watch for this team, because again, it really doesn't even matter who the opponent is. You know, it's a nameless, faceless opponent, right? After this weekend against Texas, you just need to go back out there and start to play, again, winning baseball. You need to get back to playing winning baseball. And the first thing I'll just be watching for, guys, is how does this team respond? How does this team respond after a really, really tough weekend? Like I said on Sunday, there are 2 types of people, 2 types of teams in the game of baseball, especially those who are humbled and those who are about to be. And again, that is not to insinuate the Gamecock baseball came in that Texas weekend with a big head or patting themselves on the back or reading their press clippings, but just saying that baseball is a humbling game. The second you think you got it figured out, or that you're cruising, that you're this, that you're that, it will humble you very, very quickly. And like I said in a social media clip and actually on the podcast yesterday, guys, is that, okay, you've been swept. You've gotten kicked in the teeth. You've got punched in the face. Now the question is this, and the number one thing I'm watching for in this game, guys, how does this team respond? How do you respond? Because listen, baseball is a game of adversity. It's a game of failure. It's a game of overcoming. I mean, if you don't like those things, you're not going to like the game of baseball. You've got to be mentally tough in this game, right? So how does this team respond? It's all about responding the right way. It's all about coming out, being excited to play in this baseball game. Listen, it's a Tuesday against Davidson. In a lot of situations, in a lot of scenarios, you might be like, oh, it's the midweek, whatever, but we're just going to kind of cruise control through this. You need to come out with some intensity, with energy, with fire, being fired up to play this baseball game. And I think this team will respond in the right way, because you take a look at the leadership of guys like Brady Allen and Wes Clark and Andrew Eister. And again, guys that have been there, done that, and know what it takes to win and win at a high level. I think they have those guys that won't allow a hangover, quote unquote, to happen. But again, the number one thing I'm watching for in this game tonight, guys, because again, we could talk Davidson and break them down further and their pitching, their hitting, and their guys. But this game all comes down to South Carolina, because you're a better team than Davidson on paper. There's no question. You are. You're more talented. You've got to get back to playing winning baseball, and that starts by really mentally responding the right way to the adversity that you dealt with this past weekend. Again, another thing I'm watching for here, a return to the friendly confines. I didn't really bring it up because it felt like an excuse when talking about that Texas series, but I really thought in that series, what you noticed, because there were about 4 or 5 balls that were caught, at the warning track, and that park just did not play well to what South kind of wanted to do. I mean, again, that park is built for Texas baseball, and there's no question about that. A return to the friendly confines, does that serve well for South Carolina? Again, it's a building you haven't lost in this year, and you've swung the bat extremely well at Founders Park this year. Can you get back to that? Does coming back home, because again, you got to go on the road this weekend to take on the Vanderbilt Commodores to get SEC play going. But does a return to the friendly confines, does a return to Columbia and Founders Park, does that give you, just a shot in the arm, if you will? What does that do for a team that, again, is coming off the weekend you had in Austin, Texas? I think that'll be interesting to see. Another thing I'll be watching for, Will Sanders, again, towing the rubber once again, getting the start, his last start, of course, coming against Winthrop a few weeks ago. We know Josiah Seitler, he had been handling starting in the midweek the last couple of starts, if you will. But I like the decision to get Will Sanders back out there, because, listen, this is a guy that you're going to be depending on all throughout SEC play. Did he have his best stuff in Austin, Texas? I wouldn't say so. And I don't think he threw terribly. He just ran into a buzzsaw that was Texas in that Friday night appearance, had a ball sneak inside the line, and it's baseball. It happens. It just flat out happens. But Will Sanders towing the rubber again. This is a kid, 6'6". We all know 95, 96 of the fastball, has electric stuff. I mean, listen, I think he's your Friday night guy next year. I think he's that good. But again, he is a true freshman. He's going to continue to grow. He's going to continue to learn. And I think this is a guy that really is getting better and getting more comfortable every single time he takes the mound, believe it or not. I think it's great to get him back out there. I think it's great to get him to start. I think he fits in well in that starter role, and I'm excited to see him spin the pill tonight. I really am. I'm excited to see him spin the rock. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch him pitch. Of course, another thing we're all watching for, again, this is one last tune-up before SEC play. And again, with all due respect to the Davidson Wildcats, I call it a tune-up. Again, call it for what it is. You know you're better than them. You have a better baseball team than them. But this is one last opportunity to sharpen up, to establish roles, to establish guys in the lineup, to get guys going, to get guys hot, to figure out who your best 9 are before you get going in SEC play. Because, again, as much as everybody was freaking out about Texas and going crazy over the Texas series over the weekend, the baseball that really matters, it starts this weekend. That's the baseball that really matters. That's why I even said, I didn't mind what happened in Austin happening, because you know what? If it was going to happen, if you were going to have to face adversity, I'm glad it happened before you went to Nashville. I'm glad it happened before you started the SEC gauntlet. I really am. So one last tune-up tonight before SEC play gets going. Can you build some confidence? Can you build some momentum? Can you find something to feel good about yet again after a frustrating weekend? Find something to feel good about. Maybe beat up on Davidson a little bit. Again, I always talk about in the midweek, it's all about just find a way to win, right? Doesn't matter how you do it. It can be ugly. It can be a one-run win. Style points in baseball don't matter. But this is a team that I think certainly could benefit from a big blowout win in the midweek. Just to, again, build some confidence, have something to feel good about. And again, sharpening up, because you got SEC ball starting Friday, and we all know the gauntlet that is SEC play. Something else I'll be watching for in regards to actually on the field and in this game is just overall the execution and the approach with runners in scoring position. Obviously, that was the big downfall of this team over the weekend, and something that has to improve. It has to get better. There's no question. There's no doubt. And a lot of you asked me, Chris, how do you change the approaches? How do you change, the hitting overall? Like, what do you do? What do you say? Again, you're not going to go in there. Coach Kingston's not going to go in there and make wholesale changes. Like, we got to completely scrap everything we've been working on for months, and we're going to completely change it up. No, you continue to play the game. You've just simply got to execute. But I'll be interested to see how South Carolina does. Again, it's Davidson. It's not Texas. It's not Vandy. So you're not going to put a lot of stock into it either way. But what is the execution like with runners in scoring position? Is there an emphasis? Is there a focus on maybe if you get a guy on second with nobody out, maybe you bunt him over, maybe you put guys in motion with a hit and run. Maybe you try different things. Or is it just a South Carolina team that kind of sticks with its approach and just goes from there? Because, again, it was working for you. Through the first 11 games, it was working for you. So I wonder how much, if at all, you change things up, or you just say, you know what, we had a bad weekend in Texas. We're going to keep doing our thing at the plate, and we trust that it's going to work out in the long run. And then, guys, my final thing I'll be looking out for, and again, this kind of goes into this kind of falls under the category when I talked about, one last tune-up before SEC play. But maybe the thing I'm watching for the closest tonight, too, is just, you've got a few struggling bats in this lineup, and I talked about it yesterday, but you've got a few guys in this lineup that are really, really struggling. I mean, they're reeling right now, no question. Can a few of your struggling bats build confidence tonight? And just, again, I know it's Davidson. I know it's a midweek game. Maybe it means nothing in the long run, but you've just got a couple of guys that desperately need and could seriously benefit from, say, a 3-for-4 night, a 4-for-5 night, hitting 2 bombs, like whatever. There are a couple of guys in your lineup that you're depending on that haven't been swinging it well that really need to start swinging it well. For your lineup to be what you want it to be, and again, especially going into SEC play, these are guys you need to get it going. So against a team, again, 7.22 team ERA, you got to feel like you're going to be able to swing the bats a little bit tonight against Davidson. Can a few of your struggling bats, can they find a way to build some confidence in a game like this and take it with them into this first SEC weekend? On that note, guys, let's talk about my key player for tonight. Because on that note, my key player for tonight is third baseman Brennan Malone. Simply put, and this is the reason why he's my key player. Simply put, this is a guy that has to get going. He has to. He just has to get going. And I refuse to give up on Brennan Malone. I've seen people say, you got to start Satterfield. You got to move these guys around. You got to take Malone out of the lineup. I think that's the wrong approach. It's still early in the season. I know he's had like 40 or so at bats, whatever. And so it's not exactly a small sample size or anything. And I mean, you can't keep him in there all season if he's not swinging it worth a damn. But this is a guy who can swing it. It's in there. The talent's in there. Guys, I've seen it with my own eyes. This guy can play. This guy is a ball player. I don't know what the disconnect is right now. I don't know if it's mental. I don't know if it's mechanical. I truly don't know. But what I can tell you, what I do know, is this is an extremely talented ball player. And when he does figure it out, he is going to wreak havoc on this conference. There's nobody on this team, I would say, that needs to have a good night more than a guy like Brennan Malone. He is the guy that needs to go out there and go 3-for-4, 2 home runs, 5 or 6 RBIs. Like, he needs that type of night to jumpstart his season. And again, I could be rambling for naught. He might not even play tonight. But if I was Mark Kingston, if I was that staff, I'm starting him. I'm starting him. Heck, I might put him in a 3-hole. I might put him in a 2-hole. Say, you know what? We're going to put you up here. We're going to put you where we think you should be. We're going to give you a chance. Give him a chance. Give the kid a chance. Let him work through this thing. Because, again, you need him. You need Brennan Malone in this lineup. You need him to contribute. I mean, this is a guy that we all expected to be a big-time contributor in this lineup. And, again, for whatever reason, it just hasn't worked. It hasn't clicked. I don't know, again, if it's mental, if it's mechanical, whatever. but it has not clicked to this point. But hey, all it takes a lot of times is just one night. All it takes is one night. Again, you go 3 for 4, you go 4 for 5, all of a sudden, boom, light bulb clicks on, your confidence is there. Because again, it's the argument, what comes first, confidence or success? You got to be confident to be successful, but having success builds confidence. So what comes first for a guy? And again, I don't know Brennan Malone personally. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But you got to find something. And you can't give up on this kid. I think that's the wrong move. You cannot give up on this kid. So again, my key player for tonight, not just because of this game tonight, it really goes far beyond this Tuesday night game against Davidson. Because I think you should win this game no matter what. Absolutely. I think we all feel the same. But for going into SEC play, there's nobody who needs to have a big night more than a Brennan Malone does. So again, my key player for the night, third baseman, Brennan Malone. And that leads me into my prediction for the game tonight. Again, Gamecocks taking on the Davidson Wildcats at Founders Park. I will be there in person. Again, going to feel great to watch some Gamecock baseball in Columbia yet again. And like I said, we could sit here and we can talk Davidson and we can talk Davidson pitching and hitting and their players and their coaches and blah, 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 blah. We can go dive deep into all that. This game comes down to South Carolina. This game comes down, simply put, to South Carolina and how they respond from what happened over the weekend and the adversity, and things didn't go their way. Again, this is like I told you guys, this is one of my favorite times to watch a team. You're going to learn a lot about this team over the next week or so. How do they deal with adversity? Hey, you got punched in the mouth. You got kicked in the face. How do you respond to it? It's easy to be, a lot of pep in your step and hype to be at the ballpark and everybody's bouncing around and smiling and laughing and having a good old time. It's easy to be that way when you're winning, when you're 11-0. It's easy to be that way. But now you just got swept and things aren't going. I was thinking this over the weekend. I was like, man, it's crazy how quickly things in baseball can just change. All those positive feelings and emotions, gone. At least from the fan base side of things. I don't think it's probably that way in that locker room, but from the fan side of things, just that quick, done, gone. You got fans going, oh, we're going to go to Omaha. We might never lose all season to, oh, this team's terrible. We won't even make the postseason. I mean, just that fast. One weekend's all it took. I think this is a South Carolina team, though. Like I said, how do they respond? I think they'll respond the right way. I trust the leadership on this team. And again, I certainly don't think, again, that Texas series, sometimes in baseball, you just get beat. I don't think that Texas series was anything, some people may assume, we got full of ourselves and we were overrated. Like, I think you just got beat, guys. Bottom line, some weekends, it's not your weekend. And you just got beat. Bottom line, you just got beat. I don't think it's an indictment on this team in the sense of like they're terrible. You just got beat. I think the leadership on this team, I think this team will come out inspired, fired up, with a chip on its shoulder. I think the bats will be hot at Founders Park. I think balls will be flying all over the yard against Davidson, a 7.22 team ERA. This is a Gamecocks lineup that should feast on that pitching staff. And then on the hitting side of things, 224 team average. Will Sanders is a guy that is a big-time SEC arm pitching on Tuesday. It's going to be a long night for Davidson hitters. With that being said, I think you'll see a couple of guys explode at the plate. I think the pitching staff holds its own for sure, as they've done all season long. And I do think the Gamecocks will respond and will bounce back in the right way. I've got South Carolina winning this baseball game. Gamecocks 12, Davidson 3. Again, like I tell you guys, in the midweek, it's all just about winning, and it doesn't matter how you win. If you win by a run, there aren't style points in baseball. But this really is one, I think, guys, at home and the matchup. I really think this South Carolina team could use a big win. They could use an ass whooping. You know what I mean? They could use kind of beating up on somebody else and sort of taking out some of their frustration. And I think that's what they'll do. I think they'll come into this game fired up, excited to be back home, excited to be in front of the home faithful, if you will. And, again, one last tune-up before SEC play. You want to put your best foot forward and go out there and beat up on somebody else, like I said, and build confidence and have something to feel good about. I think this team will do that. So, again, I got Gamecocks winning this game. South Carolina 12, Davidson 3-3, and the Gamecocks move to 12-3 overall early in this 2021 baseball season. So guys, that's going to do it all for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, a happy Tuesday to you all. Hope your day is going well. Again, first pitch, guys, tonight, 7 o'clock at Founders Park. I will be there at the field. So if you're there, say what's up. We'd love to talk some Gamecocks with you, whatever. But yeah, so it should be fun. And again, guys, just a quick reminder, I don't know what's going on in the Frank Martin situation. Nobody really knows what's going on in the Frank Martin situation. We're all sort of just awaiting the word. But in the meantime, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate the love, support. Appreciate you guys sharing the content, consuming the content. Oh, one quick thing. We are doing a giveaway. I want to remind you guys on Instagram, an Instagram exclusive giveaway with my friends over at Apex Art and Designs. They do fantastic work. ApexArtandDesigns.com is where you can check them out. But we're doing a free giveaway on Instagram. If you go to our Instagram, you're going to see it. Like the post, follow Apex Art and Design on Instagram, and tag 3 friends. We'll do the drawing this Friday at 3 o'clock. We'll do the drawing Friday at 3 o'clock. We'll pick a winner. We'll send out the piece to you guys. Again, something really fun. I told you guys I want to do more giveaways and give back to the listeners and give back to the people who consume the content. So really excited to partner with my guy Jeremy and do this and give back to you guys. So again, check out that giveaway. Yeah, that's going to wrap it up. That's going to do it for me, guys. Appreciate you all tuning in. Go Cox, beat Davidson, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.